opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Hi, welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I'm your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors, bring solutions to their everyday needs, and bring the generations together. Enjoy the show.
If you're interested in joining Angel Kinsey's online Zumba class, Strength and Balance, or Zumba Gold, contact Angel at angelkinseys@gmail.com or call 954-224-0886.
Then you know it's working. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Enjoy the show.
Hi, welcome to Touched by Angel Live. I'm your host, Angel Kinseys. My passion is to inspire seniors, bring solutions to their everyday needs, and bring the generations together. Enjoy the show.
If you're interested in joining Angel Kinsey's online Zumba class, Strength and Balance, or Zumba Gold, contact Angel at angelkinseys@gmail.com or call 954-224-0886.
Then you know it's working. Remember, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it.
Enjoy the show.
Welcome. So happy you tuned in tonight for another show. We have a wonderful show for you as always. A lot of good information. We have actually a special guest and also a volunteer that volunteers in the program that we're going to talk about. And I'm so glad that you tuned in. I also want to welcome my audience, my students that come faithfully to every show. Thank you guys for coming and following me, and a special thank you to my Aunt Florence, because she is my #1 follower. She has not missed a show. She loves it. So I want to thank you, Aunt Florence, all the way up from New York. So anyway, I want to introduce my special guest. She is from the Area Agency on Aging, and her name is Rosino, and she specializes in the volunteer program. I'll have her tell you a little bit about what she does. Welcome, Rose.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you very much for having me and my volunteer, Evelyn. Yes, I'm with the Foster Grandparent Program. It's a volunteer program where adults 55 years of age and older volunteer in classrooms working with the children. They help mentor them, guide them, encourage them, and most of all, love them. Give them attention, you know, the attention that the children really need and look for.
Yeah.
They're assigned to approximately 4 children in the classroom, and the teacher fills out what we call an assignment plan, and they check off what they need to do with the children, whether it be reading with them, helping them with sight words or high frequency words. They play games with them with the letters. They do their sounds with them, and also social and emotional development they help with. You know, some children these days don't know how to interact with other children, or don't know how to say please and thank you even. So by them being a role model and doing this with the children, it really encourages them to do it, and just such a wonderful program.
I think it's awesome. I have a lot of seniors that ask me, you know, I'm stuck in the house with COVID, and they want to volunteer and they don't know where to go. There is a compensation for the hourly, right? And,
There
and
is.
Could you go over like how many hours they have to do?
Absolutely. It's a minimum of 5 hours, which they just recently lowered that. It used to be 15, but most of my volunteers volunteer about 15 to 20 hours a week, I would say. That comes out to about 3 to 4 days a week, maybe 4 to 5 hours a day. They get what we call a stipend. It's a small stipend of $3.15 an hour that actually recently increased as well. We also pay them $3 a day for a meal if they're there for longer than 4 hours. And we pay transportation costs from the school, from home to the school, and then back home again.
Now, if they don't have their own car, do you provide transportation?
Yes, some of my volunteers take Palm Tran, and that's $3.50 each way, so that we pay them a round trip of $7. Some of them take the bus, $2 each way for the bus, so we pay them for that as well. We just had an orientation recently, and one lady took the train and the bus to get to my West Palm office for the training, and it was $11.50 a day, and we paid her that.
Awesome, that's great. So I know what I'm thinking is, you know, we're in Palm Beach, beautiful South Florida, but what about people that are all over the country? This program, they do have all over the country, correct?
They do. It's a national program. In fact, I used to live in New York, and I did it there for 13 years. So then when I moved to Florida, to West Palm, I had called the manager at the time, and there was an opening, and everything just worked out beautifully for me. So now I'm here 6 years and doing it down here.
And you train them, you do everything, you screen them, of course, right?
Yes, they have to go for a full background check, fingerprints and all. National Sex Offender Public Registry, we check with that, and reference check, and then we have a couple days orientation for them, and then after that a monthly in-service meeting that's mandatory for them.
That's great. I think that's really important. And, you know, my show is about not just the seniors, but also reaching the generations to reach that, take away the gap that's between them, that separates them. And I think seniors have so much to offer our younger people. And our younger people are in so much need of that senior advice and that love. I think the most important thing, like you said, is the love, right?
I always tell them when I interview them that they're going to get out so much more out of it than they put into it. Because when you see that child, like if you're going over the letters or the words with them, and I say the light bulb moment kind of in their face, they really get such a feeling that, wow, I really helped this child to succeed.
That's great, and you really become friends with them,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
There's no contact outside of the classroom, though.
No.
So there is no contact, no share of phone numbers or anything. It's just mostly mentoring in the classroom with the teacher watching.
Correct.
And there's only 4 students, because I know that people are thinking, wow, COVID right now, what do they do?
Right.
We don't have to wear masks here in Florida.
Right.
So how do they deal with that?
Well, some of my volunteers are still wearing their masks, because we tell them for you to be safe, it's up to you, absolutely. So some are, which is fine. But the 4 students that they are assigned to in the classroom, usually in the schools they have like a semicircle desk that they're around, so they're spaced out a little bit. Sometimes they'll work with maybe 1 or 2 at a time, and then the other 2 come. But you know, everybody wants the grandparents' attention, so it's not only those 4 students, all the children come by them and, you know, give them hugs and want a little bit of attention. So
now, what if somebody is out there and they're thinking, well, you know, I'm not educated, I'm not really good at math, I'm not good at English.
Right. Well, the math these days is a little trying. I was in a 3rd grade class recently, and I saw how they were doing addition, and myself, I'm not a math person, and it was mind-boggling to me. But no, they don't have to worry about that at all. If they have a love for children and want to help, that's the only requirement, really, that we require.
Great, and it gets them out of the house.
Absolutely.
Socialization is so important, and like she said, you feel like you're giving, but you're going to get back so much more. Now, we do have a volunteer here, Evelyn, and I'd like to introduce Evelyn. She's actually been a volunteer. Welcome, Evelyn. Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. I have been a volunteer for now 6 years, and I love it. It gives you an opportunity to give back to your community. And a lot of the children, Miss Jackson, oh my gosh, you're back. I miss you. Or I can be in a grocery store and they're with their parents. Mom, that's Miss Jackson, that's Miss Jackson. And some of them are like, because I don't work with all of the children, we have those 4 that have been chosen. And you know, you have some children comprehend on one level, and others, they may need for you to read it out loud to them for them to get it, or whatever is necessary. So I'm with them, but it doesn't matter. I'm the type of person, I know 5 is the minimum. I usually do up to 30. I'm there Monday through Friday. I get there at 8 o'clock when the children get there, and I leave sometimes 2:15, 2:30. Honey, one teacher, she was like, are you leaving, Miss Jackson? I said, yes, I better go. I could just wait a few more minutes. And I say, sure, no problem. Because I'm there to help the teachers. They have a lot on their plate. They have a schedule. 30 minutes this, 45 minutes that. And for us to be there and give them that little extra help, awesome. I love it, and we are needed. If you have a desire to help a child, to bring out that potential in them, it's there, but some of them need just that one-on-one, or that, oh, high five, you did it, Grandma, I'm smart. Yes, you are. You can do anything that you want to do. And as I said, I love it. And it's a passion, and a lot of times they get to your heart because they want to tell you everything. Grandma, this happened last night. And I said, well, you know what, though? You're here this morning. Did you have breakfast? Did you get breakfast? Because they get free breakfast. Well, good. Let's get started. So
I think
anyone that wants to share a listening ear, trust me, you are very knowledgeable. ABCs, math, don't think twice about it. Just do it.
I commend you for your volunteer for 6 years. The minimum is 5 hours, and you do how many?
25, 28, 30.
I think that's awesome. And she told me earlier that what she gets so much more out of what she gives, because those kids really love her. And today kids are lacking. There's so many single parents, and the parents can't give the love like a grandparent. Grandparents, they just have, I don't know what it is. I'm a grandparent, soon to be a great grandmother next month. And I'll tell you, I was raised by my grandmother. There's nothing like a grandmother's love, So I really think they really need that connection. So I want to, if you have anything else that you may want to add to it.
Well, you were just saying about the socialization and all before. Like, I have many ladies that lost their husbands and then found this program, and it opened up a whole new world for them. One lady told me she was so depressed. One of my volunteers was so depressed she didn't know what she was going to do with her life. She didn't drive. Her husband used to drive her all over.
Great.
She learned how to drive so she could get to school and come to the meetings, and it just it brought new life to her. So it's really so important for the senior as well, the older adult. And they make friends in this program too, people that go into their school, they may not know them, so we have them shadow at first with a volunteer.
Oh, that's good.
So they're not in the classroom by themselves at first. We have them shadow a couple of days. So
and
they
what's
get
the
used to-
age range of the children? That's another thing, because I know people will think high school or
Right.
whatever. What is the age?
Well, our
from?
program covers from kindergarten. We have some pre-K, but mostly kindergarten to 3rd grade. That's the
So
highest
they're
we go
young, and
to.
they're really at that age where they're so impressionable. That they're like a sponge. They soak it in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if you could be there to help a child, I think it's a wonderful program. Rose, thank you
really is.
so much.
Thank
The
you for
Area
having us.
Agency on Aging will have the number up there if you want to contact them and find out a little bit more how to volunteer. You are welcome to call them. We're going to take a little short break. I'm going to have a word from my new sponsor. So this is my new sponsor. Her name is Michelle Amron. She is an independent insurance agent. She is my personal agent for years. And I have to tell you, she excels at what she does. She is personable. She doesn't sell one insurance. She will help you with any kind of insurance that you need. She doesn't just sell one program. And the thing that I love about her, I sent her a client that had insurance for 25 years, and I felt like maybe it was time to look into a change because she had lost her husband. And Michelle, twice has been in touch with her and told her stick with the program. So Michelle will be honest with you. She will help you. If you have any kind of questions, you could call her. She follows up with you for the whole year. She's amazing. I love her, and I want to thank you, Michelle, for being my sponsor on the program. So if you have any insurance needs, please give Michelle Amron a call at 561-308-0293 is her number. Thank you. So now we're back with Rose again, and there is another program. We're going to talk about it. It's called the Shine Program. It's also with her agency, and we're going to just give you a little idea. And if you're interested and you want more information about the Shine Program, you could call and they will advise you on whatever your insurance needs are. They don't send you to an agent, but they'll just help you. So
yes, the SHINE program is actually an acronym for Serving the Health Insurance Needs of Elders. And what they do is they train volunteers in the community to go out and help people with Medicare, Medicaid questions. They give them whatever, information they need. Like you said, there's no charge at all.
And it's confidential, right?
Confidential
they call up,
information,
and then
yes.
they tell them what they need, and they're screened, and then they kind of...
Yes. It's like if they have a drug program or whatever, they would tell them like what drugs are covered under, what plans, and they don't tell them what plan to go to. They'll advise them of the different plans that are out there.
Right. That's great. So that you could call the Shine program. You could find out, what they recommend, and then you could go to Michelle, and then you could follow up with her, and she could help you to get the right insurance. I know that when I got Medicare, I was lost. I had no clue. I didn't know where to go, what to do, and I happened to be in a restaurant eating dinner with a friend, and I was telling her, I'm just going to start to get Medicare, and I don't even know where to begin. And lo and behold, somebody was next to her. It was her friend. And she said, "Oh, I have the best agent." And so, when things happen, that's like a God incident, I call it. She said, "I have the perfect person for you," and that was Michelle. And so, seniors really need help in these areas. They just don't know where to go or who to trust. You got to be so careful today on who you trust, because people are out there just selling whatever, and then you're stuck and you don't know. So the good thing is that with Michelle, she'll follow up with you. She actually calls me, now October 7th is the deadline for you to change your insurance. And even though you may like your insurance, things change all the time now with this COVID and everything. So it's a good time to look into it before October 7th to see if you maybe need a change in your plan. If you don't need it, she's not going to do it. But I've actually had her call me and say, Angel, I think I have a little bit better plan in the same company, but we could switch you over, and I think it's going to be better for you. Nobody does that. So, we really need the help. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to educate seniors in whatever area they need. So please call in. You have my phone number. You're welcome to join my classes on Zoom. Silver Sneakers are free, and otherwise it's a donation. Please give me a call or email me at angelkinseys@gmail.com. And I hope you continue to join the show. You know that it's touched by Angel Live. It's not touched by an angel, it's touched by Angel Live. So if you go on, you could look at every single program all the way back to January. We've had some excellent topics about being single, about being lonely, health, exercise. We've talked about scams, and just a lot of really, really good information. We had Dawn on that told us about the agency and the program. There's so many free programs out there. You got to remember something, that it's not just for Florida. We are all over the United States, and they could connect you to anywhere in the United States for a program that you need, whether it be insurance or volunteering, whatever it is. Maybe you need food, maybe you're low income and you need help. Whatever it is, there is help out there, okay? I just want everybody to know that, especially with the COVID being so isolated. So there is help, and that's why I'm here. I want to connect the generation gap together. I want the younger generation, those of you that are listening on radio, maybe you're driving or whatever, I want you to realize that you could be a help to a senior and a senior could be a help to you. So pay attention, love on your family, love on your grandparents, because they're the ones that are going to support you and be important in your life. I know my grandmother was important in my life, my grandmother and my grandfather. So I really appreciate that, because that's who made me who I am today. So again, I want to thank you for joining into the show. Again, thank you. Thank you, Evelyn, for coming. Thank you, my audience. I appreciate you guys. They're here so faithfully every 2 weeks. So remember, we're on every 2 weeks on a Thursday night from 7 to 7:30. And my next show is going to be in 2 weeks. We're on every 2 weeks on a Thursday night. August 25th, I am going to have the Boca Police Department. Even though they're local, they're going to be talking about a national problem. Well, it's an international problem. They're going to be talking about scams. So I hope you will be able to tune in 2 more weeks, because that's going to be an important topic. So I will have a police officer on giving you all the information that you need. And I encourage you to please call in and ask me even before the program. You could call me. You could email me if you have a question, or maybe you've been through a scam and you want me to ask the officers and bring it out in the program that night. That's what I want. I want interaction, okay? So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'm going to just ask if anybody has any questions, because we have some time left. So let's see, does anybody have a question? Nobody was prepared for this.
What's your most common question when people call you?
When people call me, most probably, how many hours do they have to do? I have one lady that's called me 2 days in a row. She just moved here from New York, and she wants to do it, but she doesn't know if she wants to commit.
That's the big thing.
Right. And it is, I will say, a little bit of a commitment. You know, we don't say it's a job because it's a volunteer position, so I don't like them saying they're working. They're volunteering. But you have to know that once you make the commitment, it is great to stick by it, because the children count on you.
Sure.
If you tell them they're going to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's a Thursday and you're not there, they will ask the teacher, where is Grandma Mary today? You know, so they know the schedule.
That's their abandonment issues too.
Exactly.
So you really do have to be ready to make a commitment. And it's a small commitment. 5 hours a week is not bad.
Right.
And I think once you step out of the boat into the water and you get a little taste of those kids, I think you'll fall in love with them and you'll want to volunteer even more.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I don't have anybody that only does 1 day. I would say, you know, one lady does 2 days, but most of my volunteers do 3 to 5 days a week.
Once they call to volunteer, how long does it actually take for them to get into the program?
That's a good question. It depends. Like, we just had an orientation for new volunteers. We just orientated about 15 new volunteers. And, you know, we do a meet and greet with them for an interview. We send them for the background check, and then they have to attend orientation for 3 days. So I would say maybe 4 to 6 weeks.
So there is still a need for more people, especially now it's
the
the new
school year starting.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's great.
We always are looking
Thank you
for
for the extra
volunteers.
question. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So thank you again for coming to the show. I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll be talking about scams, and have a wonderful, safe night. Take care. Thank you for watching Touched by Angel Live. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you love. Have a wonderful day.